What's going on, guys? I am Jay the Black. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. I'm going to talk about NFL wide receiver Sterling Shepard. Apparently, reportedly, allegedly, he and his wife have separated. Wife of 3 years. They share 2 daughters together, and they haven't even been together that long. This relationship moved entirely too fast. Now, this is all alleged right now, but they have scrubbed each other from their social media, more so her than him. Sterling, I believe, still may have some pictures of her up if you scroll down a little bit more, but she has completely scrubbed him from her social media. It's just her and her children, and it's all about her. Now, it shows you that she realizes that if she's going to move on, she can't have no picture of no other dude on her page. And women know this. So when they go through a breakup, they will scrub any male off their page that she had previously dealt with. Now, what could be going on, because I believe they both still follow each other. They both follow each other. They are not showing to be with each other, which means they may have separated. Now, I saw a comment from someone that said that he may have cheated on her with a bottle girl. I don't know how accurate that is. But we have 2 different articles here. We're going to read from it, and we're going to decipher what is going on here. And I'm going to tell you why this relationship was ruined from the start. Because in 2019, he talked about how she was one of a kind. And how did it go from that to where it is now? All right. So I'm going to read from this SandraRose.com article. It says supermodel Chanel Iman is back on the market. The 30-year-old Atlanta native has reportedly parted ways with Sterling Shepard after 3 years. Chanel was engaged to 28-year-old New York Giants wide receiver in 2017. The couple married in 2018 and shared 2 daughters together. One is 3, which is Callie, and the other one, Cassie Snow, is 22 months. 22 months. Chanel is notable for dating Metro rapper ASAP Rocky and NBA star Jordan Clarkson. She was a guest judge on an episode of Tyra Banks' America's Next Top Model. She signed a modeling contract with Ford Models at the age of 13. And she has walked for fashion designers Stella McCarthy, Max Mara, Versace, and Saint Laurent. Let's see. Chanel reportedly scrubbed her IG page with Sterling's pictures, and she is no longer wearing her wedding ring. She now posts photos as a single mom on her IG. Yeah, that's going to help her in the future, but she's going to probably start posting photos of herself, you know? It would not surprise me if they've broken up. They moved entirely too fast, man. I truly believe that. And this is why you have to take your time. You got to understand. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back a little bit. She dated ASAP Rocky back in 2014, 2015. And there were rumors that they were engaged, but ASAP Rocky was the one who ended the relationship with Chanel Iman. He said that she deserved better than him. So ASAP Rocky basically dumped her in 2015. And then she briefly went on to date NBA player Jordan Clarkson, but apparently he cheated on her, and the relationship didn't even last that long. They weren't even together that long, which lets me know that was not no relationship. She was just sharing him with the other women. She was one of few, all right? And then she's low-key dating Sterling Shepard and ends up engaged to him in 2017. And then married to him in 2018. This relationship moved fast. And this is why these athletes have got to stop doing this. These athletes have got to stop wifing up women when they're in their prime of their career. Because it's not going to work out, bro. Everything is going to go good for you because you're playing football in New York City for the New York Giants. You're making a good living. Of course, everything is going to be good. Now, Sterling came from a 2-parent household. I believe he lost his father early in life, so he wanted to have that type of relationship that maybe, you know, he may have seen in his parents. and he wants that for himself. But bro, you have to think about it this way. Are you ready for a relationship? Are you ready to settle down with one woman? And you got to also add into the fact that, you know, he's going through a lot of injuries right now. He can barely stay on the field this season. And now, you know, he's dealing with injuries. He's dealing with the fact that he has children by his now wife. And there's a rift that has happened that has been unrepairable, because when you start scrubbing each other from your pages, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not that big on, you know, social media, being in my business as far as relationships is concerned. So I don't know what that's like. I don't know but from what I have seen, you know, when you scrub people, you're moving on to somebody else, or you're being single. When women scrub their pages, it's because they want to show that they're available. You know, women always want to let everybody know when they're available. They let everybody know when they're in a relationship sometimes, but most times they always let you know whether they're single or not. Now, I don't know where the status is of this relationship, but Sterling really did not do himself any favors by trying to marry a woman this early in his career, who's, I believe, almost 3 years older than him. Okay? Somebody who was dating rappers and NBA players. She probably is not even, he's not even, I don't even think he's her type. Remember, ASAP Rocky ended the relationship with her. But again, I could be wrong. Let's go to this Arsenal side action article. Did Chanel Iman and Sterling Shepard break up? Supermodel Chanel Iman and Giants wide receiver Sterling Shepard have been one of the sport's most stable couples. This has been the standard of athlete relationships, especially black athlete relationships. This has been the standard. Now we're hearing whispers that the two may have split. All the way back in 2017, Chanel announced she was engaged to New York Giants wide receiver Sterling Shepard. As you can see, proposing to her. The couple married in March of 2018 at the Beverly Hills Hotel. The NFL player and his wife Chanel have 2 children together. Now it appears they're on the outs. Chanel has recently done a scrub of all Sterling from her IG page. Prior to the scrubbing, nearly a third of all images on her IG featured Sterling. So that's a sign, right? All right. Now, according to these tweets here, it says, size, so I typically do a monthly stalk of all my favorite celebrity couples, and I just noticed Chanel Iman and Sterling Shepard deleted all their pics together on IG. Excuse me while I go be depressed. See, this is why you need to stop living vicariously through celebrities and get a life. I just skimmed through Chanel Iman's Insta, and there isn't a trace of Mr. Sterling Shepard. I smell a divorce. Well, divorce hasn't happened yet. But when it does, I will definitely update you if it happens. Because usually when I do these videos, they always are quick to put out a response. Every time I do a video on one of these alleged breakups, there's always some response that comes out. And if you look at her most recent IG pic, Chanel is no longer wearing her wedding ring either. Well, that's a telltale sign. Social media activity is always a sign of a breakup. Best of luck to both Chanel and Sterling moving forward. This is her again here. She could be moving on. I would have no doubts about that. Let me go back to this article from 2019 where Sterling talks about how his wife Chanel of 1 year, or at the time it was about a year, how she's one of a kind. And this according to US Magazine. Lucky guy, Sterling Shepard married Chanel Iman in May of 2018 and is still head over heels for the model. The woman takes care of me like no one else has, the professional football player, who was 26 at the time, told US Weekly exclusively in this week's issue while promoting the Horizon Confidence back to school campaign. I mean, the closest thing to compare is my mom, so I love everything about being married to her. She's one of a kind. The athlete went on to describe the changes his marriage has gone through since the model, 28, gave birth to their child at the time, their daughter Callie, who was 12 months at the time we did this interview in August of 2018. It's honestly tough whenever you put a baby into a situation because you've got to still try to find time for each other, and a lot of the focus goes onto the baby. The Oklahoma native explains, so that's the main thing. I'm just trying to carve out a little time in my schedule and her trying to carve out time in her schedule because we're both pretty busy. That's the toughest thing about it, but we find a way to get through it. Now, this was back in 2019, and he talked about how tough it was for them to be able to find time for each other with their schedules. And this was after having their first daughter. You add in the second daughter, you add in the quarantine, and you have a recipe for a divorce. And the quarantine has destroyed a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages, because those people go from doing their own things, having their own schedules, to being around each other 24/7. That is what destroys relationships, because they're not around each other like that. They're around each other, but they get to thinking, do I really want to be with this person? And to me, the quarantine situation, the quarantine era, show a lot of these athletes what their life is going to be like when they retire. And it's going to lead to divorce, because when you're at home more and she's not used to you being at home, she's used to you being on the road 6 months, almost 7 months out the year, you being gone. You add in training for the season, preseason, regular season, playoffs. She's used to you being gone for a significant amount of time. Yeah, he's gonna be home for, when he's doing home games, right? But for the most part, he's going to be at the facilities, or he's going to be on the road, or he may be doing promotional stuff, or he's traveling. She's used to that. She's used to that type of schedule. But when he's at home about every day due to the quarantine, I think that it changes things and people get to thinking, right? All the issues that weren't there at first are there now. This couple got together between 2015 and 2017. They got together. Then they got married in 2018. Bro, he was not ready for that. But see, that's what happens when you want to duplicate the type of environment you may have had. I'm not sure how his parents' relationship was. Were they together before his father passed? But these guys, they, like he said, she takes care of them. She does all of that stuff for you because you're a professional athlete, bro. Let's see if she were to do that once you retire. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. But y'all understand in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. And if there's an update, I will definitely update the status of this marriage.